Welcome. In this episode we're going to talk about room acoustics and room correction, because nearly every studio and nearly every room have some kind of problems in the acoustics. And of course my studio here is no exception. I have a lot of problems in the low end region of the register at my listening position here. Right, so today we're going to check out the Arc Studio, a new advanced room correction system from IK Multimedia. First, a big thanks to IK Multimedia for sending me Arc Studio. Aside from that, they have no say over my content in this video. Let's do some room correction. Yeah, so the installation process of the Arc Studio was pretty straightforward. And compared to other room correction systems that I tried previously, which is software only, you actually get a hardware unit for the room correction in Arc Studio. So when the room correction profile is made, we can upload it to the hardware unit and we don't have to run any obnoxious softwares in the background to be able to utilize the room correction. And that's a big plus here for Arc Studio. We begin by connecting Arc Studio with a bundled USB-C cable to our computer and also connect the power. The Arc Studio room correction unit connects between your audio interface and your speakers. And if you look closely on the Arc Studio unit here, you can see it's only XLR ports. And here in my studio I actually connect from the audio interface to the speakers via a balanced tele cable. So I had to go out and buy some balanced tele to XLR cables. So make sure you have the correct cables to be able to connect the Arc Studio hardware unit. It actually would have been a great addition if they had combo jackets, which can accept both XLR and tele cables. And finally we connect the outputs from the Arc Studio with the XLR cable to the XLR inputs of the speakers. In the Arc Studio package we also get an Arc Studio microphone, which is suitable for making our room profile. Okay, so with all the cables in place, it's time to take a look at the Arc 4 Studio software and make our actual room profile. Okay, so it's calibration time. First boot up the Arc 4 profiling software and we select our microphone model, the Arc MEMS microphone. And we also make sure that we have audio input to the audio interface. After that we get to select our listening position, which in my case is the typical studio spot. Okay, so a room calibration process goes something like this. You have the software playing a sine wave through your speakers, which will be picked up by the microphone. And you will get the frequency response according to your room acoustics. And you will need to move around the microphone to different positions depending on how the software wants you to place the microphone. So you can get a profile for the listening position. The Arc Studio software actually lets us select between a quick mode and an advanced mode. The quick mode, which is obviously faster, will measure 7 different positions, while the advanced mode, which will measure 21 positions. So it will take a little bit more time to run the advanced mode. But of course I want to run the advanced mode for my setup. Oh, and my number one recommendation during the calibration process is to grab a pair of really isolated headphone cans, because the sine sweep is a little bit annoying. Okay, the measurements are ready and we have a profile. So let's load that into the Arc Studio hardware and let's listen to some different kinds of music and see if we get some improved sound. Alright, so I get a lot more punch and much more flat frequency response compared to my previous listening. And it sounds much more similar to what I'm used to listening to headphones. So it's definitely a really great improvement here in the audio by using Arc Studio. And if you just look at the measurement here, the before is the green color and the orange is after we have the Arc Studio processing. And we can visually see how much Arc Studio has improved the sound. Right, so my final conclusion and summary after using Arc Studio for about 2 weeks, making several mixes and masters. The Arc Studio is gonna stay as a permanent installation here in my studio because I feel it's such a huge improvement to the sound. And as I mentioned earlier, I often mix and master using headphones, but after adding Arc Studio I can definitely say I can make more confident decisions in the lower regions of the frequency spectrum because I can finally hear the bass. The price of $299 for the software, the microphone and the hardware unit is pretty much unbeatable because it's gonna basically improve any type of home studio system. Right, so finally, what kind of acoustic treatments or room correction do you use in your personal studio? Okay, so if you decide to check out Arc Studio for yourself, make sure to use my affiliate link in the description. That way you also support my work here on YouTube. Thanks for watching today, my name is Mattias. See you in the next video. Bye!